When Rajinikanth suddenly came out and announced his entry into politics day before yesterday, we saw two people standing with him. On his right was Mr. Tamilaravi Manian, who is quite well known in Tamil Nadu as a Gandhian and also a writer. But the other person, Arjun Murthy, who was a tall guy standing next to him, was practically unknown. Now, it is very interesting to know he is from the BJP, and he until 3 days ago he was heading the intellectual wing of the BJP, Tamil Nadu BJP. And this man, and 3 days ago, I had also had a long meeting with the Tamil Nadu BJP president, Mr. Murugan, and discussed certain strategies. Now, and he is also very well known, very close to Mr. Gurumurthy. Now, and the interesting thing is, soon after Rajinikanth made the announcement, within hours, the BJP issued a statement suspending him and removing him from the post, whatever post he was holding, and also suspending him from the party. Now, this raises a lot of questions. Where was this man all this while? And this has happened immediately after Mr. Amit Shah came to Tamil Nadu, visited Tamil Nadu, and tried to meet Rajinikanth, which he could not. But he had a long meeting with Gurumurthy in the hotel where he was staying. So, what could be the link? Is this man planted by Amit Shah to help and guide Rajinikanth to BJP? That is a big question. Or now the BJP is operating from behind and doesn't want to come out and say openly that Rajinikanth is our man. Because in Tamil Nadu politics, BJP is a non-entity. And Tamil Nadu people, voters will not vote for BJP. That has been proved again and again. Because BJP is considered to be a Hindi party. Now, how to get out of this? So I feel strongly there is some strategy being played out by planting this man, Arjun Murthy. And Rajinikanth seems to have fallen for this trap. He also announced him as a chief coordinator for his party. And he called himself, he is my treasure. He didn't say he is a treasurer. He said he is my treasure. No one knows what he means because Rajinikanth can be very vague and his words are not at all clear what he speaks about. So, and this man has been given a lot of power in the supposed to be the new party, and he is supposed to be. Yesterday, he has started consultations with a lot of retired IAS and IPS officers to formulate the party's policies and programs. Now, how is he doing? There is no party organization as such for Rajinikanth. And this man, he is being given all kinds of powers to talk to not only the ex-retired officials, even to the industrialists. Because Arjun Murthy, if one goes by his background, he is also a well-known industrialist in Tamil Nadu. Arjun Murthy basically comes from Chettinad, but he is a gounder. And Chettiars are well known for their investment in various industries. Now, this man started some technology related industry, which is not very clear what it was. And he showed total net worth as 37 lakhs as per the IT returns filed. But later on, last year, he seems to have filed another return saying that his company was running in 11 crore losses. Now, these are all very mysterious. Then, he is also known to be very close to certain religious leaders like Ma Amritanandamayi. He claims to be a devotee of Ma Amritanandamayi and he keeps going to Kochi to meet her very often. Now, I think he must have got into Rajinikanth's good books, showing this contact because Rajinikanth has been talking about spiritual politics. We don't know what the spiritual politics is. Actually, I feel that spiritual politics and all doesn't have any space in real politics. Now, what spiritual politics? Because if it is spiritual politics, is it Hindutva? Somebody asked him a question. Is it going to be Hindutva? He says, no, it will be a politics. In this politics, all religions will be treated as equal. Then what is the difference between spiritual politics and secular politics? He could have as well mentioned it as secular politics. So that is one gray area which nobody understands. What is spiritual politics? And this man, Arjun Murthy, seems to be playing some kind of a trick there. And unless Mr. Rajnikant makes his stand clear and what is this man's role is going to be, then one can clearly see there is a BJP hand behind it. And as the elections come closer, with the BJP getting a good response in Telangana, I think they are all set to use Rajinikanth to make big changes in Tamil Nadu politics. But what is going to be Rajinikanth's stand vis-a-vis BJP? Now, he has been totally away from committing himself, and he has not said that, he has only said that it is time for change, which means that he wants to go against both DMK and ADMK. And he kept away from meeting Amit Shah. But the speculation is that Mr. Prime Minister Modi is visiting Tamil Nadu on December 13th. He is coming to Chennai, and from there he is going to Coimbatore for some function. So there is a possibility that Rajinikanth would be meeting him either in Chennai or in Coimbatore. Because if Modi, if he had spurned the invitation from Amit Shah, he cannot really spurn the invitation from Modi. And also, it must be remembered that Mr. Modi, after taking over as Prime Minister, even after taking over Prime Minister, when he came to Chennai, he went to Rajinikanth's house and met him in Poyas Garden. So they have that kind of a friendship, and I am sure Mr. Modi will do everything to get Rajinikanth into BJP fold, and will definitely meet him during his visit. This is what is being reported in the Tamil media. Unless Rajinikanth says anything to contrary, it is a very, very clear indication that Rajinikanth is going to be the face of BJP in Tamil Nadu. Maybe they will not announce any pre-poll tie-up, and he might form a kind of a political party, a loose political outfit, and he will contest in a few seats. They may not contest, they may not put up a pre-poll understanding, but definitely post the elections, there is a possibility that BJP will join hands with Rajinikanth and try to upset both the Dravidian parties. So that is what the thinking going around in the political circles of Tamil Nadu. And another important development which is likely to happen in the next 2-3 days is the release of Sashikala, Jayalalitha's friend. So what will happen is after she gets released, there are speculations that many people, many of her old loyalists from the AADMK will come and join her, and she might emerge as a leader of both the splinter groups, which is also interesting and worth watching.